your opinions change, your passions change, your different things change, and that's okay. And I think we accept that more instead of sort of being like good soldiers and just staying with the company.
So you have such an amazing and important role working as the VP of Community Engagement for the Chicago Bulls, as well as the Executive Director of Charities for the Chicago Bulls. Yep. So we are also well aware that this is not exactly where your career aspirations started.
Right.
So full career switching, not just changing a simple role within a company, has become increasingly common. Why do you think this is, and why do you think it's such a common trend?
I think it's funny because I'm at the Actually, I don't even know where I am on the Gen X spectrum here, but because then I'm really telling my age. But we were sort of brought up with you stick with the company and you stay forever, and
that's what our parents did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have all these stories about they started, from the mailroom and moved all the way up to the president. That doesn't really happen anymore. I mean, I think. The generation that we have right now, and the last couple generations, millennials, the Gen Zs, and the Gen Xers as well, to some extent, are what do I care about? What am I passionate about?
Yeah.
And how do I want to make sure if I'm going to be at work every single day, how does it not feel like work? And a lot of times I think people are more reflective than they used to be, and something I think that when I grew up, I wasn't really reflective on which was a while ago, but I'm not really reflective on...
It was 2 years ago, yeah.
On what do I like and what I don't like. That changes, and people are okay with change now. We're okay. Your opinions change, your passions change, your different things change, and that's okay, and I think we accept that more instead of sort of being like good soldiers and just staying with the company now.
Yeah. So in line with that, what are some questions that you think you should be asking yourself before approaching a career change, and how do you know that the time is right?
I think the big question you should ask is why. Why do you want to change your career? Now, are you getting FOMO? Are you looking to your friends to the left and to the right? Because that happens a lot. And you're like, oh my God, they're here and I should be there. I think we have to, a lot of times, be a lot more kind to ourselves and not be so hard on ourselves. Because a lot of times we want to get to the finish line. And a lot of times you're like, oh my God, I'm 26 and this person's already a director. Don't do a knee-jerk reaction and panic. Yeah. Oh my God, I need to do something right away and change right away. Just relax. A lot of times you're actually on that pathway already.
Yeah, you can use jealousy as a tool, as a benchmark or a bookmark to healthily remind yourself of where you are and where you can go.
It's like positive peer pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
If you're looking for a new job and you don't have the Indeed mobile app, you're seriously missing out. Click the link below or search Indeed in the App Store.
So, of course, you're developing all these skills in every job that you've had previously. So, when it comes to transferable skills, what are they, and how do you prove to employers that your skills will transfer into a brand new job career?
A lot of times you can't tell when you're looking at a resume. I look at a lot of resumes, and a lot of times I'm like, why are you applying for that? I don't understand. What's going on here? One of the biggest things, I know this is where I'm going to age myself, is actually if your resume may not show those sort of what I can do this job, and it doesn't show that, write a cover letter. I know that's, and writing a cover letter takes me a week because I'm oh God, I'm writing and stuff. It's the worst sort of exercise. But a lot of times if I actually read the cover letter, that's explain yourself. This is where you can explain yourself. Yeah. How you're I've been doing this. I'm perfect for this job because of all these things that I've done, whatever it is. A lot of times I'm oh, that's why you're applying for this. I get it. Now I want to give you an opportunity.
Yeah, having a cover letter is a really good way to kind of fill in the blanks for the person who doesn't know you in any capacity. They just know you as a resume.
Absolutely.
I think that's really smart, actually. All right, so we have a hypothetical here.
Okay.
So let's say that I've decided it's time to change my career. Yep. I've acknowledged my transferable skills. I've been preparing for interviews. How do I compete with other people who are already established and have years of experience in the same exact field? And what are some ways that you think I can stand out in an interview process?
Think about what are you going to bring to the job. Don't bore people to death. Don't tell them they need that. I think the thing is sometimes is it can be a turnoff is sort of where you're saying, I'm going to get all of this out of my job, and this is what I want. This is what I want for my next career move. You're well, what am I going to? I'm your employer or your potential employer. Yeah. What are you going to do for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what are you
correct.
Do for
yeah,
me? Yeah. But I think part of it too is thinking through. Explain yourself. A lot of times there's even in different industries, a lot of times you might not necessarily want the person. I might not necessarily hire someone who's got a sports management background. I want to see someone who's good at what they do. And a lot of times it's are you good at your job regardless of what the situation is? What are you? You can work for the whole hotel industry, a school system, or you can work for a professional sports team. Are you still good at what you do regardless of where you are?
As somebody who is on the other side of a career change, a successful career change, is there any advice that you wish you could go back back and tell your younger self?
Be kind to yourself and like just relax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think part of it too, someone told me this as well. Always lead with your heart, not with your ego. You know?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to wrap this up. Always lead with your heart and never your ego.
Yeah, because a lot of times you get into roles and you're like, I'm hot, I'm great. No,
Yeah.
you like just lead with your heart. Do the right thing.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.